Shout out to TLP Sports Club, baby. BWB.
Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. Family, I gotta go ahead and get into this video real quick, so that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Ladies and gentlemen, college football season is officially on the way, guys. You've been waiting so long. You've been holding on. You've seen all of the YouTube videos. We have 1 day, 11 hours, 57 minutes and counting left to go for the college football's official kickoff on September the 1st. You guys know this is the TLP Sports Club YouTube channel. I cover Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes football team here on this channel. We are currently in the Pac-12 until further notice. Basically, next year we out of here. You understand what I'm saying? We're moving to the Big 12 next year, but the season is on the way and we're still in the Pac-12. Are we going to be Pac-12 champs this year? I don't know, but what I do know is that each Pac-12 team has its deficiencies, and there is something that you can take away by knowing each team's deficiency or just learning a little bit of something special about each Pac-12 team to see how the Colorado Buffaloes fare out. So if you are a BWB or you're just curious about your own team in the Pac-12, you want to know what their deficiency is, or you just want to know what is that something that makes them special, this video is going to cover that, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. I found the article on the Seattle Times, and let's go ahead and go to the seattletimes.com and get you what is special about each Pac-12 team. Let's go. As you guys know, I am the decoder. I read between the lines. I like to know each team. These news outlets, they have research capabilities that obviously I don't have with my YouTube channel being so new. I only started in December, guys, so I don't have that research power behind me yet. Give me some time. I promise you I will get there eventually. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens all of us. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so Pac-12 football preview, what you should know about each team plus predictions. And this article is by Percy Allen. Percy is a Seattle Times staff writer. The Pac-12 as we know it begins its final football season, and here's to hoping the 108-year-old conference goes out with a bang. At least 8 teams are bolting next year to new conferences. Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA are heading to the Big 10, while Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State are moving to the Big 12. That leaves Stanford and California, which hopes to secure invitations from the ACC, as well as Washington State and Oregon State pondering their next moves and scrambling to find homes. In the meantime, the Conference of Champions is seemingly poised to snap its college football playoff drought that dates back to 2020 and could produce its first national champion since USC won the BFC title in 2004. The NCAA vacated the Trojans championship due to rules violations, but the Associated Press recognizes them as the 2004 AP title winner. This year, the Pac-12 has a little bit of everything, including the reigning Heisman Trophy winner in USC's Caleb Williams, who leads arguably the deepest collection of prolific quarterbacks in conference history. The league is loaded with 5 ranked teams: number 6 USC, number 10 UW, University of Washington, number 14 Utah, number 15 Oregon, and number 18 Oregon State. A handful of bold contenders and 3 first-year coaches: Colorado's Deion Sanders, Stanford's Troy Taylor, and Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham. They lost a few players, so let's see how they fare out this year. Considering the high expectations and dream scenarios saddled on the so-called conference favorites, wouldn't it be a hoot if Washington State and Oregon State, fueled by resentment and spite, overcame the odds and squared off in the Pac-12 title game December the 1st at Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium? Imagine the last 2 Pac-12 teams playing in the final Pac-12 football game before the conference undergoes a massive makeover or dissolves. Now, that would be for an utterly wild finish to remember. But alas, one can only dream. here's one last look at our Pac-12 football preseason predictions. Number 1, Washington, 2022 record. They were 11-2 overall, 7-2 in the Pac-12. All right, who was their coach? It was Kalen DeBoer, second year, 11-2. Eighth year overall, 90-11. The Huskies get the slight edge over USC and Oregon in large part because they're returning their coach, star quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the Pac-12's best receiving tandem in Rome Odunze and Jalen McMillan, presumably 4 offensive line starters, formidable pass rushing duo Braylon Trice and Zion Tupulua-Fatui, and both coordinators. UW could start 8-0 or 7-1 before a difficult stretch in December at USC versus Utah or Oregon State versus WSU. Likely decides the season. Okay, guys, we're moving on to the second team, which is USC. Their 2022 record, 11-3 overall, 8-2 in Pac-12. Their coach is Lincoln Riley. In his second year, he went 11-3. Seventh year overall, he's 66-13. It's difficult to imagine Riley and Williams will take a step backward in year 2 in Los Angeles. The Trojans, who ranked 3rd in the country while tallying 41.4 points per game, are going to score lots of points once again. The question remains, will USC's retooled defense, which includes key transfers at all 3 levels, stop anyone where it matters? The Trojans surrendered at least 35 points in 6 of their final 8 games last season, including 47 in the Pac-12 title game and 46 in the Cotton Bowl during a pair of losses. And the Trojans' defense was less than imposing in last week's 56-28 season opening win against San Jose State. Team number 3 is Oregon. Their 2022 record is 10-3 overall. They went 7-2 in the Pac-12. Their coach is Dan Lanning, second year, 10-3. The Ducks storyline is eerily similar to the Huskies. Oregon had tremendous success last year with first-year coach Landon, while Auburn transferred quarterback Bo Nix in a high-octane offense that carried a porous defense, meaning basically a defense full of holes. You understand what I'm saying? A porous defense. More specifically, a secondary unit that broke down at inopportune moments. Oregon returns most of its offense, notably Nix and top wide receiver Troy Franklin, 61 catches for 891 yards last year. The Ducks would need immediate production from transfer receivers Gary Bryant Jr. from USC, Trayshawn Holden from Alabama, and Taz Johnson from Troy, and a better effort from a retooled defensive back unit that ranked 8th in the Pac-12 last year in pass defense. And if I botched any of those names, guys, help me out in the comments. You know I gotta move on. Number 4, Oregon State. Their 2022 record is 10-3. They were 6-3 in the Pac-12. Their coach is Jonathan Smith, 6th year, 26-31. In the past 4 full seasons, Smith, the former UW Husky offensive coordinator, led Oregon State to 2, 5, 7, and 10 wins. If the Beavers take another step forward, then they'll either tie or surpass the team record 11-win set in 2000 when Dennis Erickson guided them to a Fiesta Bowl victory. It's incumbent that transfer quarterback DJ Uiagalelei, who spent the past 3 years at Clemson, hits the ground running. It's equally important that sophomore running back Damian Martinez, the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year, remains productive after topping 1,000 yards from scrimmage last season. The Beavers returned just 5 starters to a defense that ranked 1st in the Pac-12 last year in scoring yards and rushing yards. Number 5, we got Utah. Their 2022 record is 10-4 overall, 7-2 in the Pac-12. Their coach is Kyle Whittingham, 19th year, 154-74. Predicting the 2-time Pac-12 champion will finish 5th feels a little disrespectful considering Utah almost always overcomes low expectations and Whittingham averages 10 wins in the past 4 seasons, not including the COVID-shortened 2020 season. But this year, there's increasing concern around the Utes, particularly the health of quarterback Cam Rising and tight end Brant Kuth, who are both recovering from torn ACLs. Whittingham named Rising QB1 for the season opener against Florida, but redshirt junior Bryson Barnes is expected to play as well. The Utes have listed 9 underclassmen as starters. Remember to read between the lines, guys. Remember to read between the lines as I'm reading these, okay? There's a lot going on there, okay? Number 6, Arizona. 2022 record, 5-7 overall, 3-6 in the Pac-12. Coach, Jet Fitch. 3rd year, year, 6-18. Overall, 7-19. The Wildcats' 6-year rebuild should finally bear fruit and produce their first bowl appearance since 2017. It's been a complete makeover for Fitch, who went 1-11 in his first year in 2021. Don't tell nobody. 1-11. Shh. The coaching staff remains mostly intact, including offensive coordinator Brandon Carroll, the son of Seahawks coach Pete Carroll. Quarterback Jaden DeLaura, 3,685 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Was third in the Pac-12 last year in passing yards in just 12 games. Number 7, UCLA. 2022 record, 9-4 overall, 6-3 in the Pac-12. Coach, Chip Kelly. 6th year, 27-29. Ethan Garbers, UCLA's backup quarterback last year, emerged from a tight derby that included Kent State transfer Colin Schlee and 5-star freshman Dante Moore. All right, guys, so a side note there, something you should read into, guys. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that the Kent State transfer Colin Schlee, he was coached by Sean Lewis at Kent State, all right? So think about that. We're talking about the UCLA Bruins, right? Okay, so one of their quarterbacks was coached previously by Sean Lewis. Just a side note, okay? However, Kelly said all three will play in an unspecified rotation. Still, it's asking a lot of whoever is under center to replace Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who played 5 years at UCLA. The Bruins also lost running back Zach Charbonnet and last year's top 3 receivers. Aside from road games against crosstown rivals USC and Utah, the Bruins have a favorable conference schedule considering they miss Washington and Oregon. Keep an eye on California transfer receiver J. Michael Studevant and Ball State transfer running back Carson Steele. All right, guys, we are almost done. We are now down to number 8, Washington State. 2022 record, 7-6 overall, 4-5 in Pac-12. Their coach is Jake Dicker. 3rd year, 10-9. Quarterback Cam Yard, 3,231 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Returns and should be better in his 2nd year with the Cougars after making the jump from FCS. Still, the bigger question is whether 27-year-old wonderkin Ben Arbuckle, the youngest offensive coordinator in a Power 5 conference, can revive an offense that ranked near the bottom of the Pac-12 in scoring. 26.1 PPG, which would mean points per game, and yards 360.8. The Cougars must show up an offensive line that allowed a league-high 46 sacks and lost 3-year starter OT Jerry Kingston, who transferred to USC. They face a tough early test September the 9th when number 19 Wisconsin comes to town. It's WSU's first non-conference game against a Power 5 opponent in Pullman since beating Illinois 20-13 in 1998. All right, guys, finally we reached the number 9, our Colorado Buffaloes. 2022 record, 11-1. Oh, dang, my eyes were a little blurry. Sorry. 1-11 overall. 1-8 in Pac-12. Coach Deion Sanders, 1st year, 4th year overall, 27-6. There's no doubt 1st year Coach Sanders, aka Coach Prime, has made Colorado must-see viewing, which is already a major victory for a team that won 1 game last year. Still, it remains to be seen if the Buffaloes can return to relevancy. They haven't had a winning record in a full season since 2016. Sanders installed son Shedeur Sanders at quarterback to run his quick strike offense and surrounded him with a few weapons, including Kentucky transfer running back Kavasier Smoke and former Jackson State dual threat star Travis Hunter. Colorado's undoing will seemingly be deficient and poorly staffed offensive and defensive lines. Everybody's saying the same thing. All of the writers are saying the same thing. Colorado's undoing will seemingly be deficient and poorly staffed offensive and defensive lines. They're all saying that is our deficiency. I know we're going to be good. We're going to be successful this year. We have motivation. We have heart. There's a lot going, guys. Even though I'm saying the same thing, you still have to see what comes out. Those immeasurables, the heart stuff, those are the things you can't measure. And we know that when you have a motivational person like Coach Prime, you usually can get a lot out of a player, a lot more than people can see. Okay, everything is still yet to be seen because at the end of the day, you have the stats. I give you guys all of the numbers. I'm going to be dropping the roster video this week, maybe on Friday. Okay, guys, so obviously Colorado's my team, so I had to give a little bit of commentary. Okay, but we are now down to number 10. We're almost done, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate you. Number 10, California. 2022 record, 4-8 overall, 2-7 in Pac-12. Coach Justin Wilcox, 7th year, 30-36. After a promising 20-18 start his first 3 years, which included a pair of bowl appearances, it's been tough sledding for Wilcox, who is 10-18 in the past 3 years. To reverse the downward trend, Wilcox brought OC Jake Spavital back to Berkeley to run his air raid attack. Former TCU backup quarterback Sam Jackson V and running back Jaden Ott, 1,218 yards from scrimmage, 11 touchdowns, would be featured in an offense that ranked 9th last year in the Pac-12 in scoring, 23.9 points per game, PPG, and yards per game, 364.6. Nearing the finish line, number 11, Arizona State, 2022 record, 3-9 overall, 2-7 in Pac-12. Coach Kenny Dillingham. He's a first-year coach. Record is 0-0. Let's go. True freshman quarterback Jaden Rashada, a former 4-star recruit who was heading to Florida State before a NIL snafu, beat out transfer Jacob Conover by BYU and Drew Payne, Notre Dame, and will start week number 1. Running back Cameron Scatibo, the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year at Sacramento State, is a big play threat. The cupboard isn't bare, but 33-year-old Dillingham, the youngest coach in FBS, might have difficulty motivating his team after ASU self-imposed a 1-year bowl ban stemming from recruiting violations that occurred during the previous Herm Edwards regime. All right, so think about it, guys. They lost Juju Mitchell, and they also lost Johnson. I believe it was their cornerback. Kicked them off the team. According to Dillingham, Juju Mitchell, he said all of those things. You're either going to play like we play, practice like we practice, be a good human being, like a really good human being, hold doors for people, or you're not. Yeah, Juju Mitchell, he was like, man, I'm out of here. I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. You can't even hold your team together. You can't motivate us. You're going to have a tough year. Good luck. I'm out of here. Coach Prime, what it is, homie? What it is, shawty? Anyways, guys, finally, if you're hearing the word finally, that means you stuck in there with me, and I appreciate you. You are a true BWB, or wherever you come from. You just like the sound of my voice, and I really appreciate you. I thank you for your support. And here we go. Number 12, Stanford, guys. 2022 record, 3-9 overall, 1-8 in the Pac-12. Coach Troy Taylor, first year, 0-0. Fourth year overall, 30-8. That's a pretty good record. Even in this age of quick turnarounds aided by the transfer portal, first year Coach Taylor is going to need some time to uninstall Stanford's Power I offense that prioritizes tight ends and offensive linemen and insert his spread offense that has success during his most recent stops in Sacramento State, Utah, and Eastern Washington. Additionally, new defensive coordinator Bobby April has a monumental task overhauling a defense that ranked near the bottom of the league the past 2 seasons in scoring, total offense, and rushing offense. Guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. I do these lists because these people have research capabilities. They were here before I was here. They know these teams. They know the Pac-12. They've watched them over and over again. They are definitely staffed in their research department. My research department is only 3 people currently, guys. Me, myself, and I. You understand what I'm saying? And occasionally, I'll get some people who would toss some things my way, be like, yo, Harry B, here is some information you might want to take a look at, and I do appreciate you guys doing that for me. But TLP Sports is growing. I'm very appreciative. The season is about to start. We are excited about this season. All of this is going to go out the window, guys. We want to see what happens with Coach Prime and all of these coaches, the 3 new coaches that are here, Taylor, Dillingham, and Coach Prime. All of these coaches, all right, we're wishing everybody well. We're going to have a good season, guys. Your favorite teams, no matter where you're from, you're here for Coach Prime, you're rooting him on, or you're just here to see if he loses or he doesn't lose, or if you're neutral, it doesn't matter, but the season starts now. We're about to have a lot of fun, guys. No matter the outcome, let's make sure that we keep it respectful, and let's make sure we have some fun with college football. That's what this is all about. A lot of us here are way out of college many years, okay? So come on now, cheer these kids on, put a smile on your face, guys. Let's have some fun with college football. This is the Pac-12 information that you you needed to know. Now you know about each team, whether it's a deficiency or it's a plus or something that you had to look forward to for each team that's in the Pac-12. And with that information, guys, I give you this. Okay, family, that is all the information that I have for this video. I hope you got a little something out of it. And if you did, please make sure to smash that subscribe button to help this channel grow. That's all I do here. I'm going to have to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club.